It is important you watch this video, whether you are Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, Fulani, Ibibio, whatever you are, whether you are an American. It is important you watch this video.
The adjacent country, what do? We kill them all? No. The Prophet says, the first thing you do is call them to Islam. If they refuse, then tell them Allah obliged upon you to pay taxation. In return, when enemy comes and attack your country, you don't fight. We Muslims protect you. Subhanallah, for this little money? Yes. And you enjoy sitting in your homes and in your country and live your life normally. But the ruling is for Sharia. So you do not open nightclubs, you do not fornicate. If they refuse, then we have to fight. And if we fight you, then we capture you, you become our slaves, and we take your land, and you take because you refuse. I give you two good options in the coming 40, 50 years when the Muslims become strong as they're supposed to be.
Welcome back. From that video now, you can see what we call the religious intolerance, what we call Islamic fundamentalism and Islamic extremism. Before I go further, this channel is not Islamophobe, but we are against Islamic extremism. We are also against Christian absolutism. We just want religious freedom, religious tolerance. In recent time, we can see what is going on in the Yoruba land, most especially in the capital city of the Yoruba land, which is called Oyo State. There has been so many conflicts here and there, not between Igbo and Yoruba this time. The conflict is not between Yorubas and maybe some Delta. No, the conflict today is between Yorubas versus Yorubas because they have been divided using religion. This religion is currently being injected and is being fired by some Islamic fundamentalists who have now gained the support and sympathy of Fulanese. You can imagine a Fulani man who has no say, who has no right to intervene, interfere, or intercede for anybody in Yoruba land. He is now writing tweets, tries to instigate some Islamic Yoruba extremists. Look at it on the screen. I'm going to read this out, right? He said, the greatest lie ever told is that the Southwest is tolerant and accepts every religion. This is both a fallacy and a myth. It is a fallacy in the sense that it is meant to mislead many into believing such, whereas the events of the day always point to the opposite. It is a myth because that false belief is widely held, blah, blah, blah. Typically, a Yoruba Muslim experiences the deepest resistance when he or she chooses to exercise his or her own religion according to the dictates of the religion. Now, the dictates of religion is perfectly elucidated in the video that we just watched some minutes ago. In Islam, it is mandatory. If you want to practice a full-blown radical Islamism, okay, what they call full practicing Islam, a non-Muslim have no say. A non-Muslim have no right to life if he does not submit to the whims and caprices of the Islamic nation that overrules it. You as a non-Muslim will pay through your teeth taxes to remain in that religion which is outside Muslim, or you submit yourself. That means compulsive conversion to Islam. What this implies is that when they say that the Yoruba land does not tolerate a full Muslim to perpetuate or practice the full extent of Islam, it's just a deceptive means of pushing for Sharia to overrun my dear Yoruba land, and by extension the whole of Nigeria. I mean, we have seen videos where people have come out to say that it is only one religion that will unite the country, and that religion is Islam, that even the Igbos will become Muslims, even the Yorubas Christians will eventually become Muslims. I mean, these are their dreams, their desires, the agenda of Uthman Dan Fodio since the late 1700s down to the 1820s, 1830s, before they conquered the Lorraine and Co. This has always been their agenda before they met their Waterloo at the Middle Belt. You see, the agenda is to blackmail, emotionally blackmail us. They have successfully done this in the United Kingdom. In the United Kingdom today, there are street Brighton, Bridgestones. So many places that have been fully Islamized. And we can see this. There have been so many unrest. There has been so many cases of gang rapes by Muslims, Islamic fundamentalists. Because in their own law, there is nothing wrong with sleeping with a 9-10-year-old. It is there. According to their rules, according to their tenets, according to their religious beliefs, there is absolutely nothing wrong having to sleep with a girl of 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. And this has been going on in United Kingdom. United Kingdom, which of course was built on Christianity, right now today is having its own culture being eroded because most of their mayors in London are Muslims, and they are not just Muslims, they are Muslim fundamentalists, and they are not just fundamentalists, they have been blacklisted, they have been red flagged by United Arab Emirates. Just yesterday, as seen on my screen, you can see these guys have been blacklisted. They are using the names of United Kingdom prestigious schools like Cambridge. Okay, that you like Cambridge. Disguising. They are so perfect at it. The war is a psychological war. The war is a war of patience. And this is the same war Alimi played in Ilorin. They are doing the same thing in the United Kingdom. They have joined, assimilated, they integrated themselves into the system, speak English just like the British, entered the United Kingdom politics. Okay? They've opened the door for their radicals, immigrants, who are now on the street, seeking Sharia conservatism. They are propagating Sharia to be implemented in the United Kingdom, a place of the king and queen of Christianity. And yet, when these people say that, hold on. The United Kingdom was built on beliefs of biblical ideologies. The United Kingdom has always been known to be a Christian state. Yes, you can practice your Islam. I mean, you have various mosques here. In fact, the Queen gave you guys mosque. We have no issue with that. But when you are now hitting the street, protesting that Sharia should be this, Sharia to be that you even want to believe in the Quranic laws ahead of the British laws, in my own Christian state, is that not invasion? But when you come out and you say, no, this is wrong, you know what they tag you? They tag you Islamophobe. They emotionally blackmail you. They call you names to make you feel sad, to dehumanize you, to make you start questioning your own humanity. Like, am I really bad to these guys? The United Arab Emirates, Dubai, which is, of course, an Islamic state, have been able to stand out because they are against Islamic extremism. There is no one single organization in Dubai that supports extremists. The same Dubai were the ones that exposed those behind the banditry, the insurgents in the north, those who financially sponsored those Boko Harams, those Lakurawas, those ISWAPs in the core north. They released a list. There were almost going to 140 names. These are Northerners, Fulanis, majority of them. But you know what Buhari did? He concealed them. He made it a classified document. Dubai gave it to them. Immediately Dubai wrote Ashurok. Now these are the guys involved. They gave Dubai the instruction, do not publish it. The same thing didn't happen to the UK. When they informed UK told them, go and publish the names of those organizations, publish those people's names, let us see it in the public. And those guys are now on the run. But here in Nigeria, which has now become a fertile ground for terrorism, a fertile ground for Islamic fundamentalism, you can see that these are the conversations that has now crept into the Yoruba territory, they are now questioning the Yoruba heritage. Wherein some Imams are saying that we are the fathers of the Yoruba kings. Let us watch this video together. When we come back, we will further conversate on this matter.
Nísẹ̀yìn, Imam ni bàbá ọba o. Ìsọ̀lú mi o. Ọba ní àdọ̀bálẹ̀ fóun. Ká bọ́ síwájú, ká dọ̀bálẹ̀. Àwa kábíyèsí ẹ má bínú. Sọ̀yájú sí yín. Fi ṣègbéraga. Fi ṣàbùkún yín. Àwọn tó ti lọ ṣáájú yín náà mọ̀ páwọ̀ yìí dọ̀bálẹ̀. Ìfẹ́ Ọlọ́run, ìfẹ́ Ànábì sì ni sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Fẹ́ mú fún wa lọ́wọ́ ara wa. Tá bá bínú agbára ẹnìkan ká wá nù lóye o. Tá bá bínú kódà ọba àlú agbára rẹ̀ ọ̀ká wá.
Come back, you can see there. As you can see there, this man is saying in Yoruba that Àlùfáà ni bàbá ọba. Let me translate. Àlùfáà ni babban sarki. Now, king, now Imam, now him be the papa of the king in the Yoruba land. And as papa know they prostrate for king. According to their religion, we do not prostrate for kings. According to their religion, if they successfully have their way, I didn't mean that Seyi Makinde had not intervened using his governmental powers, allow these kingmakers who are mischievously perpetrating Islamism, because all of them are all Muslims and they are all Muslims radicals. They chose a Gbadegesi that grew up in the palace in, is it Sokoto or Katsina? Gbadegesi who grew up amongst Fulanis. He was indoctrinated right from childhood. When they found out that Gbadegesi was a prince, they asked for him. He grew up in the north. He didn't grow up within the Yoruba settings. He didn't grow up appreciating and celebrating the Yoruba heroes, the likes of Shango, the likes of Obatala, the likes of Oya. He doesn't believe in those. You as a king must pay homage to these gods, these deities, because it is written that the throne today that called Alaafin was the throne of Shango, was the most powerful Alaafin, was the most predominant warrior the Yorubas had. Shango, then we have Ogun. Those two deities, these are warriors. So the Fulanis are so strategic. When they saw this thing, they knew that, oh, this guy might have a chance to become the next king of Alaafin of Oyo. If you are able to inject in him Islamism, wherein it doesn't grow up loving those deities, those gods, when he gets there, we'll ensure all the people who will be the kingmakers, of course, will be the Islamic fundamentalists too. So when they push him, when he gets there, that thing that is happening in Iwona, whereby the king is desecrating that seat of power, saying that the seat is not a traditional seat, it has now been, in fact, he wants to rename Oluwo of Iwo, he wants to turn it into Emir. He has gone to wear a lawani now. Can you not see the picture? He is now wearing lawani, calling himself Emir. Right? So it is prevalent everywhere. How the game of this Islamization works. The same thing is going on in the United Kingdom. The same thing has gone in other countries, wherein they come in. Initially, if they can overpower you, they come and they overpower you, and then they enslave you. You convert, and within no time you practice it, and everything becomes Sharia-nized, and that is it. But in places whereby they cannot overwhelm you, they come in peacefully as traders. Over time, they get married to your daughters and sons. Over time, they begin to sell their religion as the religion of peace. These are the rhetorics. Over time, they begin to join your politics. Along the line, they begin to own religious institutions and places of worship. They begin to give birth. In Islam, it is a strategic move to have more population of Islam over Christians and every other religion. Because in Islam, it is constituted that you get married to 4 wives. Now, imagine a man who gets married to 4 wives in competition for child production against a man who got married to just 1 wife. Give them 10 years. Who will have more children? Think. These are strategic moves of, and I have to accept, I have to agree. Right now, the fastest growing religion in the world is Islam. If they can do away with their radicalism, if they can do away with their extremism, I don't think anybody will have an issue with them. When they begin to step into their extremism, is when they start telling you, we want to practice our religion to the fullest. Oh, this place is Sharia that we want. If you are a Christian, please move out, pack out. Because if you not pack out, if you see you drinking alcohol, if you start use fornicating, well, we are sorry, but our Sharia law will take a full blow on you. If you now say that, no, I'm a Christian now, you cannot tell me I cannot leave this place. I have been living in this same territory even before you guys arrived. They will tell you, can't you see that we are now more than you? Because according to population, it is the majority that will have their say, that will have their way. So let us push this. When you now object, they come in and then they blackmail you. They tell you, no, you are a Islamic hater. You are Islamophobe. You are this, you are that. I mean, there has been serious campaigns going in United Kingdom right now, wherein, because the owners of the land are saying, we are not against Islam, but we are against Islam extremism. You cannot come here and start telling us that you now have more population in certain area, that we should backtrack the constitution of the United Kingdom, which is built on Christianity, that you want to have Sharia there. That it is unheard of, it is absurd, it is total, absurdity and affront of you. Because you guys are immigrants. We allowed you to stay in there. And this is not uncommon to the moves of every Islamic leaning personality or state or people. This is how the Fulanis did. When they settled in the Middle Belt, when they came, they got into the Middle Belt, they had a treaty. They said, yes, we are settlers, we came. This is not our land. We only came to farm. We only came to trade. But you know what? According to their laws, their pecs, their tenants, they had more wives. The Middle Beltans, who were majorly Christians, according to Christianity, do not have more than 1 wife and do not have more than the child that you can cater for. This, in a way, pushes that a family has a balance in terms of prosperity, in terms of opportunity. Okay, so they were the Middle Beltans. Of course, the indigenous Middle Beltans were more Christians, so, and they kind of sort of believe in that way. So they had one wife. Most of them were having 1 child, 2 children. But the visitors, when they came, knowing fully well they couldn't cater for those child, but because their religion said have 2 wives, have 3 wives, have 4 wives, provided you can love these wives accordingly, which is, of course, we know it's a scam. How can you love your 4 wives equally? It is not possible. So it is there that have them, and provided you can provide for them, they can eat. So they just focus on feeding the child. They don't really bother of either going to. They said going to school is not. It's not the primary. They will tell you that going to school is not a primary option. It's not a primary function of a parent. What the parent needs to do is just to feed and shelter the child. That's all. So they were now populating. Their population was increasing. In Kaduna, the same thing happened. In Jos, they became much. The Fulanis, the Hausa Fulanis, started getting, the population started expanding, started exploding. In 10 years, the people that came ab initio were 1,000. In 10 years, 1,000 times 8. In 10 years, they became almost 20,000. Exploded. And then in 20 years, they became over 100,000. And they became majority. When they found out they've become majority, when they found out they've now had more foot soldiers, then you know what? They struck. The same thing is what they are doing in Oyo State. If he had gotten that throne, if he sits there, who do you think is going to call? Who do you think is going to respect? He's going to respect the Afars. Most importantly, he grew up in the north, in the Emir Palace. He's going to call them, and they are going to tell him, hey, you know what? First and foremost, abolish those gods. You grow up as a Muslim. The Muslim is a way to heaven. Do it, nothing will happen to you. We have your backing. We are right behind you. If anybody tries to fight you, we will come in with our army and soldiers. And because he's the king already, and he's a Yoruba guy, the Yoruba people would just be left dumbfounded. They wouldn't understand what is going on. What Seyi Makinde was a strategic move. The word that the Yorubas are Islamophobe is just a cheap blackmail. And my Fulani brothers who are trying to push this extremism, they don't cast. You have no say, you have no business in the Yoruba culture, their kingship. You have no say. I've never seen where Yorubas will intervene in the Emir. What the issue that's going on in Kano State, you never see it happen. You can never see a man who grew up in the South, let's say in the church, he grew up with pastor, you know, then I say his family is from a royal family, come and become the next Sultan of Sokoto. It is never going to happen. So don't be deceived. That is their own culture. And I hope that globally, everybody does everything right to checkmate and curtail what we call extremism, religious extremism, and radicalism. Thank you. Bye for now.